Hi, Cardinals. This is a VR that I was compelled to do. Um, and I watched a number. First of all, I saw this on Highly Sensitive Tarot. Julie had a video called Reacting versus Responding. And it was a VR to Mixtress Ray in a video that she had put out. And Mixtress Ray, the topic matter apparently struck a nerve with some of the people in the tarot tube community. And some of the comments she got were very ugly. Till Julia felt that she had to respond with reacting versus responding. And then there was I don't know what succession or what order these came in. These is just all videos and blog posts that I seen regarding Mixtress Ray's initial video. Now, Mixtress Ray's initial video was titled, "Do I Have a Shopping Addiction or Am I Just Poor? Income Inequality in the Tarot World." And in her video, she talks about her limited income and her ability or inability to purchase indie decks and to do numbers of unboxings, and how if you didn't do a number of unboxings and flip throughs, or if you didn't have a particular indie deck, then you wasn't considered a real member of the tarot tube community. That it was almost like you were an interloper. And she used some strong language in her video. She was what's the word I'm looking for here? She was passionate on her stance and about her viewpoint. And she even commented herself or replied to comments that were not so kind to her, that she was speaking in the heat of the moment and maybe her words could have been different. But even in her responses to people who were very ugly to her, she showed grace. She didn't respond in kind. And when I watched her video, I agreed with some of the points that she made, and some of them I didn't. I agreed with her statement that if you don't have a certain indie decks, that you're made to, that some, not everyone, but some will act like that you're an interloper, or you really don't belong, or that you have nothing to say. that you're kind of like taking up space. Now those are my words, not hers, because I've had those feelings in the short time that I've been here. I've been here almost a year. And there have been those in the community who have welcomed me and who have tried to guide me or point out resources to me. And then there's been those who I've reached out to them and didn't get a response at all. Or if I did get a response, it would be very cold and unwelcoming. But I didn't let that deter me. I'm still here. She also stated that in some unboxings, she talked about one particular indie deck, and I will not call out creators. She did some of that. She's a grown woman. That's her choice. I'm not going to expressly do that. There is one particular indie deck that I will speak about, but it's my own private experience. And you will understand more fully once I go into that. But I will not call out creators or particular decks. I've seen, she called out this one particular deck for selling for $95, not including shipping, and how astronomical that seemed to her. And she questioned if the deck was worth that figure. There were those who agreed with her that that was an overpricey deck. And then there were those who said indie creators typically do charge more because they have more upfront cost that's coming from them rather than a publisher putting out a mass market deck. And I'm going to segue a little bit right here on this point that Benabelle Wynn did a blog post on her website in response to Mixtress Ray's video, and she agreed with some points that Mixtress Ray made. In others, she disagreed. She did both eloquently and with grace. She took things a little step further in her blog post and used her own personal experience in her second printing of her Spirit Keepers Tarot Revelation second printing that I don't know if it's already been released or about to be released, but just put it in black and white in numbers to show how indie decks could be more expensive. And she pointed out how, I don't know if he's her husband or her significant other, but how the man in her life looked at it from a business viewpoint, and that during their he helps her once decks come in, there's the packaging and the shipping and the interaction with customer service at the post office and international shipping and everything that goes with that, all the minute details. And that, you know, we've got to look at the bottom line, and this is going to be, if I'm going to be involved in this, this is going to be the minimum that we can charge for this deck. And once you see the breakdown of the numbers, you can kind of say, well, I see where he's coming from. He makes a valid point. There is a lot of work involved, that if it is independently published, if they're going to a publisher and they're going to do their own this process. I learned that sometimes Kickstarters was at a lower selling price because you was helping fund the deck to be printed in the first place. I learned that things can change. That was from a different Kickstarter. But I learned that things can change during a Kickstarter, that what you might originally bid for may change before you actually receive it. And these situations are pretty much a put your big girl panties on because this is the way it is. So I learned those lessons. But back to this Kickstarter about Unfolding Path. I've gotten sidetracked here into other Kickstarters. The Unfolding Path, I did not back that deck. I thought it was out of my budget, and it was. After the Kickstarter ending and went to seeing, and decks went to arriving, and people went to doing even more unboxings and gushing over how fabulous it was, and I already knew that, already felt that way about the deck to begin with. Wanted the deck so bad, and then it seemed like that everywhere I went, the damn deck was stalking me. Every Facebook group, just regular Facebook images on Facebook, different YouTube videos. Just seemed like everywhere I turned, I was seeing that deck. And I was just wanting it even more and more. And I was like a little kid with my face pressed up against, up against the candy and cookies, looking in the case, wanting them. Felt like I was on the outside looking in. So I made the decision to save the money up, because she had the deck up on her website at this time for sale directly from her website after the Kickstarter. So I purchased the deck. The deck was $60. Then it was $25 shipping from the UK to the United States where I lived. Made the deck $85 for me. When I found out what it was going to cost, I went to saving my money up. I'm on a fixed income. So I saved the money up. I ordered the deck. It took the deck over a month. It took it almost 2 months to get here from the UK. About the time I ordered the deck was when the Royal Mail decided to show their ass, and it put the deck on hold. She had notified me that she had shipped it, but it was being held hostage by Royal Mail. So during their, I don't know if it was a walkout or labor dispute or whatever was going on with Royal Mail. So I got the deck, and it was like Christmas morning. I was like a little kid, 5 years old on Christmas morning. And I was so excited and so happy that I had this in my hands, and it was everything that I thought it was going to be. The deck spoke to me, and I loved it, and I still do. Let's don't get that twisted. But shortly, I'd say about month and a half, 2 months after I got the deck, she puts it up on her Etsy shop for half price, or right at half price. It was going for $36.50 on Etsy. And I felt dumb. And I was like, well, you know, you missed out on the sale. That's just all. You had to have it. You wanted it. You got it. So don't be crying over spilt milk. Wasn't but about, it sold out fast on Etsy. Wasn't but about maybe two or whatever months after that, the first rumors started floating around that it'd been picked up mass market. I kind of knew what that meant. I did and I didn't. I found out. I found out quick enough. Because it wasn't long I went to seeing it on Amazon. It was indeed up for pre-order here in the United States on Amazon. I could get it from Amazon. No UK shipping. The deck was $24.99 US dollars. I literally cried because I had spent $85 for this deck. I felt so dumb, so stupid. Now all of this is my own shit, my own feelings. The lesson I learned from that, if you've got to be one of the first to get it, then that's the risk you play. You're playing in the big leagues now. That's one of the risks for being one of the first. So the lesson I learned from that was to have some patience. That sometimes you needed to let a Kickstarter play out. And yeah, I also learned you might miss out completely on a deck if you let the Kickstarter go by. That happened. There was one deck that I had my eyes on and I was like, well, maybe I'll wait till after the Kickstarter and I'll see what I can do with it then. It sold out and I missed out. Then I got in another Kickstarter that I alluded to a while ago and things changed. They put up 2 decks and the deck that I really, really wanted, they showed pictures of it. It was going to have this edging and it was going to have this back, and I fell in love with it and I had to have it. And I backed it based on the video and the pictures that they posted on the Kickstarter. And it was several pictures. Well, before the Kickstarter was said and done, they decided to create a 3rd deck. There was going to be 3 variations of this deck. There was going to be one edition of images front and back. It was going to be like a flashcard style on one side, then a keyword style on the other side. And then there was going to be a keyword edition, which was the one that I backed. And it was going to have rose gold backs with gold foil stamping and matte gold edging. Oh, that thing was beautiful. But now we got the third deck, and it's going to be the classic edition. It's going to be that flashcard back, just very simple. And now that there's 3 decks, well, we need more continuity between the decks. So that fancy smancy back that we had for the keyword edition, we're not doing that now. We're going to make this, the back of this one, purple, the back of the keyword blue, and the back of the classic pink for continuity amongst the brand. Now that wasn't said, but I'm smarter than the average bear. They're in business to make money. That was the smart business move for them to make, was continuity amongst the decks. From one edition to the next to the next. By the time I got my deck, it wasn't that pretty rose gold back with gold foil stamping of a mandala on the back of it with matte gold edging. It was now blue with a gold mandala on the back, part of the print work, and gold foil type, you know, that shiny gold edging. Yeah, that's what was on the decks. I'm not a fan of that edging. It's sharp, it cuts my hands, and it chips off the cards in no time flat. Your cards look all beat up and raggedy in no time. I can honestly tell you, if that's the way the deck had been presented to me in the beginning, I'd have never backed it. But I had already backed it. I had already paid for it. And this is what you get. So the lesson I learned from that Kickstarter is that things can change. And that if you want something specific, then you need to wait until all is said and done, and wait until the final decisions have been made on the product, and then you know what you're buying. So that was my second lesson. Kickstarter number 3. I got small hands. These fabulous decks. Oh, they was beautiful standard size. It was a tarot deck and an oracle deck. And we're going to do the tarot deck edged in this color, and we're going to do the oracle deck edged in this color, and the backs are going to be similar but a little different, and blah 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 blah. Oh, by the way, we're going to also offer these in a pocket size. No, that's the wrong word. Miniature size. We're going to offer these in a miniature size. And in the Kickstarter, the tier is going to be called Dwarf. And you can get both decks for $55. Yes, I did that. Disappointment again. When I received the decks, they was exactly as advertised. Nothing was changed. They was exactly what they said they was going to be. Am I satisfied with what I received? No, I am not. Whose fault is that? My own. I should have been more mindful about what it was I was purchasing. I should have paid more attention to the small details. The decks are so small, even for my small hands. They are so small. The card stock, I'm not a card stock snob, as some people affectionately call themselves. But this card stock is bottom barrel, as cheap as you can go. I've thought about doing a giveaway on this channel and giving away both decks to whoever wants them. Run some type of contest, a giveaway or something, and here, you can have them both, because I don't like them. I'm not satisfied with them. I love the Oracle deck. I'm not satisfied with the tarot deck at all. Once I got it, there's images in it that I just don't understand how they associated this image with this card meaning. I can't get the two together. It's over my head. So I don't like the deck for that reason. And that's just me. Just not liking. And I seen all the images before I bought the deck. So I can't blame them, because they showed you every single card in both decks before you backed them. They didn't change anything. The Oracle deck, I absolutely love it. It's just too small. And I know the standard size has this pretty matte edging that I love in a beautiful color. And I really want it. And I can buy it if I'm willing to spend another $45 for that one deck. I got choices. I'm grown. I can spend my money and buy that deck again if I want to. They'll be more than happy to take my money. But I feel foolish for feeling that way, or for thinking that way. I haven't done it yet, but I've got the feeling I'm going to. Because I really love the deck. It's just too damn small. So these are lessons that I've learned. And I say all of this to say, I'm a grown woman. At some point, I've got to accept responsibility for my own decisions and my own choices. I chose to back all three of those Kickstarters. I should have done my homework before I put my money out there. I know how hard it is for me to get my money. I learned valuable lessons with all three of them. I won't make them same mistakes again. You can believe that. I've backed another Kickstarter since then. Some people would say, what, you ain't learned your damn lesson? Oh, I was very, very, very particular before I backed this last one. Trust and believe. Matter of fact, I've got 2 Kickstarters that I'm waiting on right now as we speak. But I was much more informed and lessons learned before I spent my money. But I have to accept responsibility for spending my money on what I spend it on. You know, if I go to the grocery store and spend $15 for a roast and bring it home and cook the roast and it don't taste as good as I think it ought to, well, I can't bitch and bellyache about spending $15 for the roast at the store. Hell, I probably fucked it up myself the way I cooked it. At some point, I've got to accept responsibility for my own decisions. There's consequences. They taught me that there's a consequence for every decision that you make, either a good one or a bad one. But at the end of the day, it's my consequence. If I spend $95 for a deck, I knew I was giving them $95 for the deck when I ordered it. I can't bitch and bellyache and complain about it now. That's just my opinion. Now, these are my opinions here. If y'all want to come at me, bring it on. I can take it. But these are my opinions. I love the way Benabel, I'm sorry. I admired the way Benabel addressed the issues. There was points she agreed with, and she openly said that and expressed her agreement and her feelings on it. There was points she disagreed with, and like I said before, she put the money charts up there to eloquently show you why she disagreed, dollar by dollar. As Daddy used to say, she put her money where her mouth was. Another one who so eloquently and articulately, Saoirse Soaring, done a video. Let me give the right name here. Double Standards in quote-unquote Community was the name of her video response to Mixtress Ray. And she talked about the community aspect. If we're going to call ourselves a community, are we really a community? How much of a community are we really? Do we invite others in, or do we ostracize people? Do we let people feel like they're a part of, or do we keep them on the outside looking in? What type of community are we building? I was sitting there listening to her video going, yeah, girl, tell them. Yeah, that right there. You know how you talk to the TV or you raise hell during sports? Yeah, I was doing all of that during that video with Atta Girls, because she said it so beautifully and so eloquently. I like to think I'm an educated woman, but that woman is much more educated than I am and put it in such eloquent language. Go watch it. I will have links. So by the way, I will have links to every bit of this. Everybody that I mention in this video, there will be a link to their video, their blog post, or whatever in the description box down below. so you can go look, make up your own mind. What do you agree with and what do you not? I think Mistress Ray made some valid points. I think she may have said things in a little strong language. She made some decisions that I wouldn't have. I didn't agree with some things she said, but I don't agree with everything everybody says, no way. I don't like every deck that everybody else likes. I don't care for dark, gloomy decks. That's just not my thing. I'm not going to trash talk them. I'm not going to say they ought not be created and made. There's a whole lot of people that loves these vampire decks and loves these real dark, gloomy decks. I own one black and white deck. Not a big fan of dark decks. It's just not my thing. I like color. I like vibrant color. I've now learned that I also like watercolors and softer tones. So my thing is I like color. That's what I like. I like RWS clones. I'm realizing that the majority of the decks that I like and use the most are RWS based. That's what I know. That's what I understand. So that's what I spend my money on. And again, it's my money. I'll spend it how I want to. I don't need no damn body's permission. But I can't blame nobody else neither for how I choose to spend it. Oh, by the way, Benabelle's blog post is called Tarotube and Classism because she talks about how this is economic class, this is social class, these are societal norms here. Oh, she was eloquent with hers too. That's the word for today, eloquent. Night Song. Night Song made a response. Hers is called Money, Consumerism, and Tarotube. And I forget some of her exact points, but it spoke to me that I had to include her in this. I know there was points that she agreed with as well, and also points she disagreed with. I don't think there was anybody who agreed with every single thing. I think that's true of most videos on Tarotube. I think there are rarely any video that everybody is going to agree with every single thing. It's just not going to happen. We're different people with different beliefs, different likes and dislikes and aesthetics in our tarot cards and what we're drawn to and what we're not, what speaks to us and what doesn't. How much we're willing to spend, how much we're not, what type of videos we're going to put out. There's some people that I watch that puts out, and this was another learning experience for me. There's a couple of channels that I watch that does an unboxing and a flip through every single day of the week. And I was like, how in the hell are these people putting out an unboxing every day? How do they afford this? Because in the beginning, I thought they was buying all these decks. Because trust and believe. I think today I have 111 subscribers. I'm new. I'm still a baby here. Every single deck that I have reviewed or unboxed on my channel, I paid for out of my own pocket. Ain't nobody give me a damn thing, except a comment or two here and there. And I be begging people for them. But I've paid for all of mine out of my pocket. So I couldn't understand how these people could put out an unboxing in a video, an unboxing and a flip through every single day, 7 days a week, months after months on end. How were they doing this? And then I found out the publishing houses gives prototypes and free copies to tarot tubers to do unboxings and reviews of their products. It's free advertising for them. It's cost-effective advertising for them. I wished I could get in on it. If you a deck creator, I would love to unbox and review your deck for you. If you would like to send me a prototype or a free deck, yes please, and thank you very much. But I found out that that's normal practice. And I was like, well, I'll be damned. How do I get in on this? They say, well, you ain't been here long enough. You've got to have X number of views and got to be here X amount of time and da-da-da and da-da-da. And I guess, from a business viewpoint, that makes sense too. I just got to wait my damn turn. I mean, it's just that simple. Do the publishers? Yes, the publishers is going to give out decks to several creators, tarot tube creators, to get their deck reviewed and unboxed. Of course they are. Like I said, that's free advertising for them. That's good business sense for them. The creator's going to do it because it gives them content to create and to put out. It's a win-win for all parties involved. Some people, now here goes my opinion again, my personal opinion here. There's going to be some people who gives a more honest review than others. There's some people that I guess don't want to piss the publisher off, so they don't badmouth none of the decks, or they don't say anything that they don't like, or call to question anything they don't understand, because they want to continue receiving them decks so they can continue putting out fresh content. There is some of that in the community, I have realized. I think I've ranted and went on and on enough. If I've offended anybody, I apologize. That was not my intent. I have not meant to put as my son would say. I haven't meant to put anybody on blast. I haven't meant to embarrass anybody. I haven't meant to call anybody out and to be ugly. As for these Kickstarters, if you know who I'm talking about, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. I only named one deck, and that was making an example of myself, not an example of the creator of that deck. Because between me, you, and the fence post, I'm going to buy the damn mass market when it comes out, because when I bought my version of the deck, it come with a sheet, a fold out with little keywords on it. This mass market version that's coming out is going to be a book, 100 and some page guidebook. I want that guidebook. The deck's going to be, I've seen it now for as low as $22.49. Trust and believe, I'm going to buy it as cheap as I can. But I'm going to buy the book. I'm going to buy the deck for the book. I'm going to keep my version. I'm going to keep my indie version. Oh, hell to the yeah. It's a nice deck. I have some regrets about it and some I don't. I still love the deck. I still use the deck. It's everything that I ever thought it was and more. I'm going to do a monthly deck pick for the month of May here this week, and that deck is going to be in there. Spoiler alert. I've already chosen my decks for the month of May. I just haven't made the video yet. That deck's going to be one of them. It meets the theme that I'm using for the month of May. If you've stayed to the end of this, thank you very much for hearing me out. Thank you for allowing me to voice my viewpoints. These are my opinions and my viewpoints. I accept full responsibility for them, good and bad, whether you agree or disagree. You're grown boys and girls. You're allowed to have your own opinions just like I'm allowed to have mine. But if you've watched this all the way to the end, thank you. If you've subscribed to my channel in the past, thank you. If you're still a subscriber, thank you. I appreciate your support in everything that you do to help my small channel to grow. The comments, the sharing my videos, all of that, as you're well aware, raises me in the algorithm and helps me to grow. And I'm grateful. I want to grow. I want to stay. I want to be here for a while. I plan on being here for a while. I ain't quitting no time soon. You will see me again soon in another #VR, an unboxing and a review. Because I haven't quit buying decks. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I'm a little more selective now, though. Some of my unboxings aren't always brand new decks. They're new to me. You can see me in a monthly deck pick sometime here this week. Or you might see one of my daily collectives that I do in between all of that. Go watch some of these other videos. And if you comment, be kind. Being ugly is not necessary. I'm sure you can express yourself, what you agree with and what you don't, without being ugly. Just remember, karma, what you put out is what you get back. Again, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.